Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and this is
Logan Garibay.
And today we're going to talk about Biden's PreK plans. All right, so right now we're both thinking a lot about November and how you should vote. So Biden has a plan for PreK. I think that you should do a write-in for Andrew Yang. Logan thinks you should
Go for Joe.
Right. And so I think if you do a write-in for Andrew Yang had a good UBI plan that would have helped people deal with PreK in whatever way they chose, because they'd be getting $1,000 a month. Let's talk about what Biden wants for PreK. So to my understanding, Biden wants a model that will. So how much does PreK cost every month on average?
We did a little bit of math. $700 per month.
Right, and
on
that's
average.
That's a quality PreK. It's not super high quality. It's not low quality. It's you can put your kid there. You don't need to worry. $700 a month. Okay, so the way we understand it, you would fill out a form under Joe's plan. You would fill out a form, so you could go to the government and say, "Hey, this is $700 a month. This is really expensive. Here's my form." And then they go, "Okay, we read all the information on your form. Here's $100 a month out of that $700, or it's just $350 a month." And so under Biden's plan, you could get half of that paid for by the government. Okay. Also, he will put in he is giving a huge tax write-off for any company that makes a PreK site right there at the workplace, which is incredibly convenient for parents. What do you think of Biden's plan? What do you think of that?
I think it is very important. One thing that families are thinking about a lot of the time now is a lot of families are having two parents work at the same time.
It's true.
Which means they either get a babysitter, which can cost a lot of money if you're doing it every day. It's kind of like a nurse,
Yeah.
Or preschool. And preschools kind of act as like an education system, but also kind of like babysitting in a sense, because they're not that old enough to start school, but they are old enough to understand and start learning, which is very important before kindergarten. So that's my opinion. I think that this is very convenient, and there needs to be put a lot more attention to families that have children but can't really pay attention to them at this stage in life.
Because their parents are both working.
Yes.
And actually, it's not that they're not paying attention to them, but they have.
Yeah.
It is more difficult for
busy.
them to bring time to those children. Yeah. I think everybody understands what you're saying there. Okay, so one, I'm actually opposed to Joe Biden's PreK plan, and the reason why is if you do a write-in for Andrew Yang, he has an actual good policy, in my opinion. So it'd be $1,000 a month, and then families could do with what they could pay for it. They could pay. Every adult would be getting $1,000 a month, and they could pay for that if Andrew Yang was elected. Now, I will admit, if we do write-ins for Yang, he's still not going to win. So to your point, at least Biden is on the ballot. He's got a chance of winning, right? But my objection to that is, what about parents who want to have one parent stay at home and nurture those children full time, and then one parent go out to work? Isn't that unfair to them? Because that's a tax benefit that they're harshly excluded from.
Well, in the end, it still costs money. It is actually a lot cheaper for actually my. Well,
yeah, that's true. So we have a household where one spouse chose to go out and provide, and the other spouse chose to stay home and nurture, right? But I will say, it was very difficult for us to do that. But we didn't make that decision based on money. Like the way that happened was we took your brother to a daycare, and the lady was like, "Hey, Scott, hand your son to this woman, and then this woman will take care of him while we give you a tour, right, of the daycare center." And I couldn't even hand over our baby for the tour. And the lady was like, "Well, you'll be leaving him here every day." And so we went home and we talked it through, and we were like, I don't want somebody else to raise this child, right? And so that's why we chose that. It really wasn't from an economic perspective, and so it was different. But I'm not talking about our family. There are any family who wants to can choose to have one nurturing parent and one providing parent, but they're going to be punished under Biden's plan because they're going to get zero.
In my opinion, I think, I'm changing my thoughts about it a little bit. There is more than money in the debate of
it's true.
Traditional just teaching one-on-one with a spouse or whatever.
Like more a nurturing spouse, yeah. So you think there's benefits for the pre-K?
I do think there are benefits in either. You definitely get a better relationship with a
nurturing spouse
and guardian. In that case, and in my opinion, it sustains a lot of aggression that can build up later through the years. I've seen a lot of people who like their parents are working like 9 to 5 or whatever, and they don't see them that often, and they go to school with no one home. And that can be a toll on a lot of kids.
That's true.
So having that benefit is technically not economic, but I think mentally it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, I'm glad to have a mom to go home to, hug and all that stuff.
So, but I see what you're saying. So so this goes a little bit. Yeah, actually. So with Biden, are you saying that if he's helping these people to have care for their children in times where their working schedules don't allow it, you're thinking that's better for the country as a whole? What do you think the benefit of the pre-K?
I think the benefit of the pre-K is that it gives the parents a little bit more flexibility.
No question.
And
Absolutely.
it doesn't put the strain on or constantly having to worry about their child's safety and things like that.
So one other concern I have is that when you get to a situation where it's universal pre-K, universal health care, debt forgiveness for college, the list of give for Democrats is incredibly high.
Mm-hmm.
They want to give all these things, and the way they say they're going to pay for it is to tax the wealthy really significantly. Do you think the benefits that Biden is going to give to people who have less money is going to be worth the detriment of telling American rich people you're going to pay for this, and if you don't like it, you might as well go live elsewhere?
Can I talk about taxes for a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've just been reading a lot of articles and seeing the facts. It is stupid how dumb millionaires, billionaires pay for taxes. It's just dumb. It's stupid. They should be paying way more. It's unfair.
So you think they're using lawyers and loopholes to get out of it?
Yes.
I hear you. Yeah.
We need to heavily tax the rich.
So you are not concerned at all because you think we're not getting our fair share from the rich right now.
Yes.
Bet high five, man. So I don't agree with that, but there is a lot of evidence to it, right? Because I feel like Americans are doing pretty good, but overall at the macro level, right? And I just don't have the concerns for the poor in America that you have, but I think you have a more open heart than I do.
In my opinion, the trend that's following with this whole tax thing is the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. That's how a country breaks and discombobulates. That's the whole point. A lot of other countries have struggled with this, and this is a whole economic struggle. They haven't completely collapsed, but any country that has this does have economic struggle. It's not normal.
So I think what's happening in America. So one, there is evidence to what you're saying being true. This is easily debatable. There's evidence on both sides. I think what's happening is the rich are getting richer, and the poor are getting richer, because one of the things in America you can't starve. It's impossible. You have to choose to, right? In America, clothes are cheap as dirt, right? People give them to you, right, for virtually nothing. But the only thing we even remotely really struggle with at the macro level is homelessness, and I don't even think that's a real problem. That's a symptom of other problems.
Yes.
Right? So with that said, but the one thing I absolutely cannot debate with you is I do know the tax structure is absolutely set up so that if a very rich, if a millionaire or a billionaire wants to reduce what they're paying, they absolutely can do that. You've got a really good point there. That's points to you. I really am not super excited about Joe Biden. I really think it should be a write-in for Andrew Yang, or for whoever you think is worthy and capable of being president. You are still
Go for Joe.
And the reason why is, while you think there might be flaws in his plan, overall you think the plans are good. And then also you really think Trump, that Biden is just a much better choice than Trump, right?
Yes.
And so you think Biden's support for PreK is just a much better, more sound plan than what Trump is currently giving, correct?
I don't think it's anything.
Virtually nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
yeah.
one thing that I will say, I think we said this in a couple of past videos that we've done, but in any way, shape, and form, vote. Doesn't matter who it's for. You are participating in the political process.
Absolutely.
That is all that matters, in my opinion.
Totally agreed. Right in is right on. Logan is go for Joe, but both of us say there's no wrong way to vote except not to vote. We're really encouraging you to get out there. Your voice matters. Your choice matters, no matter who you want to vote for. And, just don't waste it. People died for the right for us to get that vote. Don't waste your vote. Get out there and vote. And it's super, super important. We both agree on that. Thank you for sharing your opinions on Joe Biden. I'm really excited to have somebody young to talk to about Joe Biden, because my views on him are very set in stone. I really am frustrated with him overall. But you are going to have to live with this future, and I'm really fascinated by how, dialed in and paying attention to Biden, and how you're saying, hey, there is a choice in this nation, and for you, it's definitely go for Joe. I definitely get it. I really appreciate you just sharing your outlook with us. It's been nice exploring some of Joe Biden's different policies. There's more there than I thought there was. You have a good point there. And I have a lot of sympathy for people who are voting for Joe, and I know that, because they're agreeing with one of my favorite people in the world. All that's our opinion. We'd love to hear your opinion. What do you think? Do you think Joe Biden has a better policy plan, tax plan for PreK than Donald Trump? Let us know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.